because what she can contribute to your life would be stratospheric.
Little black book, you know what time it is. That note was off, but don't watch that still, you get me? Boom, boom, boom. I want you in. Okay, let's not do that. So guys, you already know what time it is. It's the Married at First Sight review. Oh my gosh. Alright, cool. Listen guys, let's get into the video. Let's talk about it. We're talking about Jasmine and Will. Oh, before we get there, you already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. You ain't got the... You ain't got the minerals, baby. You ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, agege, you're lean, baby. Let's get into the video. Alright, listen. Let me give a recap review. I mean, you guys have watched the videos. We've had some great discussions and some banter. We've actually really dialogued on this issue between Jasmine and Will. And I think the main issue that we've all had has been the source of finance. It's almost like we've all been personally invested in the debacle and the back and forth between Jasmine and Will. And what I would say is, if you're new to my channel, go back, watch those videos, and go look at the comment section. Get yourself involved. Because it was a mad thing. I loved it. So you know, that's what we love. We love to have that conversation. That's what this channel's about. So yeah, I mean, let's just get into the video talking about Jasmine and Will. I think the beautiful thing about them two was that, you know, we saw that both parties were trying to adjust and to adapt to each other. Inevitably, it came to a point where one had already decided in his heart, and I think from early he knew what he was doing. I said it from jump, that Will from early knew this weren't for him. And the reason why is because love languages were not met. You understand? He is a quality time talkative guy. He wants conversation going on. Jasmine is a physical touch, and she wants that, you know, that caressing. She wants that you know, all about, you know, all over her. Do you know what I mean? She wants that. She wants to be caressed. You know what I'm saying? Caressed. You understand? And in more than one way. You understand? So I totally understand both parties. Now, I've been quite harsh with Jasmine in regards to the financial situation. You guys, we've had that debacle and debate. It's been powerful. Loved it. Kind of sad that we're going to be, you know, hopefully they'll have some more episodes after this. But we've had a debacle and debate about how to deal with finances, who should pay, etc., etc. Yeah, we've had a debacle and debate about who should pay for the meals and everything. So it's been quite interesting, and you know, that back and forth has been crazy. So what I want to say, obviously, now in regards to their situation is that Jasmine really tried. And I said it, I think in a few episodes back, where I said that, you know what, she did try with the dressing and then tried to ask some questions at the table. It was a little bit forced. You know, she tried a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm not blaming her. What I'm actually saying, inevitably, it wasn't going to work because of the fact that she can't speak his love language. And not only can she not speak his love language, she has a very brutal way of saying certain things, very blunt. And I think Will was very sensitive. Because he's so sensitive and, you know, introverted, he didn't like that. And I think he saw that from early. Remember, I've been telling you from early, from jump, about the fact that, remember I said from the playground, when he went to the playground, I said he was spitting out his life and she never really asked questions about his life. And she made certain comments which were a bit mad. So for him, he had already cancelled this girl from early. What he was hoping for was that, you know what, she could turn it around and actually convince him. Now, most of us are in those kind of positions where we hope that somebody will convince us to stay in a particular relationship, even though we know it's dead. You know what I'm saying? You know them once, where you're in a relationship and you know it's dead, and you're just waiting for it to be finitoed. But you're hoping kind of secretly in your heart, like a little percentage, that they will be able to turn it around. But really and truly, you know it can't be turned around. You understand? So what's mad about the situation in that regard as well? I don't know why I keep saying in that regard as well. But, you know, I understood where Will was coming from and why he chose the decision he chose. What I would say is obviously that, you know what, Jasmine really did try out of her heart. I think in her heart, she purposed it that she really wanted to try and get this marriage to go ahead.
And I think that I failed, and that makes me sad because I don't know what else I could have done. I don't know.
like she said, she didn't want this marriage to fail. She wanted to pursue this, and you know, by the fact that she didn't give her a decision, we didn't see, and she was crying tears, we know that she was willing to go forward. It was interesting because at the bridge a couple of episodes ago, you know, the way she spoke was almost like she had a big decision to make, and it was like she was willing to almost go for the divorce line. By the energy she was bringing, I was thinking. So it was a surprise for me actually that she didn't go for the divorce line and she continued it forward. That being said, you know, I feel like I've done her a disservice in the sense of with these videos, I've not spoken enough on the fact that Will hasn't replied physically. So obviously now, but he has spoken. I mean, he did mention it that, you know what,
Eventually, the sexual connection will come.
I think once you brought it to my attention, like the physical intimacy, you know, improved tremendously.
Like he did, you know, step it up when it comes to it. But I really think that sometimes, don't be mad at me, but I think that he often wants me to agree with him.
He did mention that obviously, you know what, you know, I've tried to make amends with the physical touch, and I've tried to do that, and Jasmine said, yeah, you know what, you have tried in that regard. But you know, the sex ain't there, baby. Man, the sex ain't there, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand that. And I think the reason why he didn't have sex, like I said, he weren't committed. You know, he's an introvert. He observes and he makes decisions based on what he's observed. So for him not to have sex with her is a calculated decision. Not just about love language, but it's calculated in the sense of he was not going to give her away. He was not going to give himself away to her because it's a calculated decision. Whereas a lot of us might run on emotion, say, you know what, let me have sex and kind of think about a few things later on. Let's go with the flow a little bit. But for him, it's like, I can't flow because I'm consciously making a decision that I'm not going to have sex with you, because that would mean that we're flowing forward. And so he mentioned it again. What was the point that he mentioned? His problem was what? Communication. That was his main problem. His main problem was communication, that there wasn't enough communication. So I think, you know, that it was tough for them. And I think, you know what, they tried, you know. I still think there was a couple of points where Jasmine just didn't need to say those things, but like I said, because he's sensitive, he had chalked it on the wall, man. It was done, like, from early cuts, you know what I'm saying? Cool. It's interesting, obviously, that Jasmine did say, you know what, he could be the one for me. Like I said, because I never saw that from her. I thought that she was trying to assess and then thinking to herself, you know what, like, this guy's really not trying to do what I need him to do, that she would have left. But kudos to her, she weren't on that.
On one hand, Will is great. We just constantly laugh all the time. However, it's some cons, and
So I really rate that. Like I said, that's what I'm saying about the Will situation, that, you know what, he did her a disservice. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, she mentioned some pros and some cons. And obviously, when they came into the room, Will hugged her, and I felt that was it was slightly awkward, and I think Will makes it awkward. I don't know, he makes things awkward.
oh. Hi, I haven't seen you all day.
Just like the kiss scene, it was slightly awkward. He just makes things a little bit awkward. But yeah, they hugged, and that was good. I think he said, what surprised me that he chose divorce actually was the fact that, you know, they said, what did you love about the marriage? And he said, obviously, being best friends, being able to be best friends. Now, remember Pastor Cal said earlier on, don't be putting yourself in the friend zone.
What's been the best thing about your marriage?
The thing I love about the marriage is just one, having like basically, I mean, you've kind of grown into one of my best friends.
And he said to her, listen, he sat down, Jasmine said, listen, look, do you know what? I still feel you. I hope I'm not being put in a friend zone. Do you know what I mean? I like you more than that. So where do we go? Do we believe that he said what he said then? Or do we believe that he was lying? Or do we have a third option, which is that he actually wanted their best friend in a relationship, wanted to have it succeed, but unfortunately, certain things that she was doing just didn't allow him to proceed further. I think one of the major incident things as well, when he did say that as well, one of the things is, just after that, they asked Jasmine the same question about what do you love about your partner, and notice she never said anything.
What's been the best thing about your marriage?
The thing I love about the marriage is just one, having like Basically, I mean, you've kind of grown into one of my best friends. Being able to share everything with you, I mean, it's just something I genuinely appreciate.
I think after hearing your response, I think we still have just emotional connection issues. And I think that goes hand in hand sexually, because you have to have like an emotional connection, and then eventually the sexual connection will come.
I think once you brought it to my attention, like the physical intimacy, improved tremendously.
She never actually said anything in regards to that question. She actually diverted and actually made it a negative thing. And like I said, this is not the first time that she does these kind of things. Like when she has an opportunity to kind of discuss something in its goodness and entirety, she turns it into something else. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that, I don't say nagging, it's just like a painful situation to be in, I think, if you're another person. Because like I said, she just had to just say, look, this is what I love about Will. But then turned it into a rant for the next 2 minutes. It's like, yo, Jasmine, what are you doing? Like, come on, answer the question. That was the original question. That was part of it. She then obviously to mention obviously the fact that he hasn't got any career goals for the future. But we discussed this in the last few episodes. There was a career progression path that he had. You just didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine, you can't do that, man. Listen, you need to support a man. Look, men are fragile in our egos, very fragile. Oh my God, very fragile. So our egos are very, very, very fragile. So when we mention to you our dream, our ideology, our path, what you need to do is be able to assess and go, okay, cool, this might not work, but you know what? Let me help you refine this. I know you said obviously you want to do coaching. Okay, cool. Have you looked at how like this coaching thing could take you this way? When you break the person down and say, listen, it's not going to work, that's not going to make money, you shoot a person's dreams down. And I think that conversation with his friends where he spoke about his dreams and told them that's what Jasmine did, I think that conversation also nailed it in the coffin to say, look, I don't think it's going to work between me and her. Do you know what I'm saying? There were several things that happened, I think just nailed it in the coffin for Will. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't be mad at me, but I think that he often wants me to agree with him when he says, makes a argument or something. And I'm just a debate.
Let's not say argument.
But I'm a debater by nature. And if I don't agree, then we're going to have a dialogue about it.
Will always wants to be right. Now, I don't know, but she's mentioned this more than once. I think she mentioned this in the car as well. So I think when he gets into an argument or a debate, I feel like he may use his intellectualism. Maybe he lauds the intellectualism over Jasmine. Maybe he feels like he's smarter than Jasmine. And so the way he debates, it's almost like, I'm right, you're wrong. And people can have that. Like, I haven't seen that from Will, but people can have that. They think they're intellectual and they feel like the other person's not as smart. They can do that. So maybe that's what it was that she said, obviously, that she's fighting back on. Jasmine mentioned obviously the fact that she felt like she failed in the relationship, and I feel like, it's tough because there's a guilt she's gonna be feeling, because she's gonna feel like, did I do enough? Am I enough?
And I think that I failed, and that makes me.
And I feel like Jasmine did enough. I feel like Will had just decided that he was not going to go further with this. I think from the jump at the honeymoon where she abruptly made a point about gender roles, I think he already had assessed that this is not going to work for me. I think from that jump. Because, there were several points for that relationship where we see that, obviously, he said at the wedding, he said, obviously, when they went back to the place, he said, you know what, I will do it all again. And I believe he would. But you know in your heart, bro, that you weren't really there, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Bible says, obviously, they were among us, but they left us. They weren't really for us. You understand? Like, bruv, these guys were, Will, you were there, but you weren't really for her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you did it in your heart from early. You weren't on things. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, you were going to divorce from early. But Pastor Carl said, obviously, to Will, that...
To go with.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I think you're missing out on a lot. Because what she can contribute to your life would be stratospheric.
This woman is a stratospheric, I think it's a stratospheric change or whatever, if you have this woman in your life. And I'm like, that's lovely, but where was that energy for Luke? I've already said this. That same energy weren't there, bro. Anyway, listen. So, I get that, Will Jasmine can bring a lot, but a lot in what sense? A lot that I lose my freedom as a man to lead, or to even make my own decisions. No man wants to concede that if he's more than a beta male. He's not going to want to accept that. If I'm an alpha male, I'm not going to accept that. I want my freedom to lead and to make decisions. The moment I feel like somebody doesn't respect my dreams, the moment I feel like somebody's saying that they'll have gender roles, but they want me to pay 60-40 or even more than that in terms of finances, when you're potentially making more than me, I see that's inconsiderate. I don't really want to be in that relationship. Do you know what I'm saying? So she may change somebody else's stratosphere, but she ain't changed mine. Do you know what I'm saying? It may be my loss, but it's my loss in the sense of that it's somebody else's gain. Do you know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel that she was gonna she would make a stratospheric change in Will. I think Will is Will. Like, he's an introvert. He's not gonna change that. He said it from the very jump. He's an introvert. That ain't changing. His love language ain't changing. So let's nip that in the bud. But anyway, listen, guys. Let me know. What's your points? Let me know down below. As always, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a discussion. I feel like, Will and Jasmine made the right decision. I think in the long term they would have killed each other. But then I think to myself, like, could they have made it work? Because they both were kind of understanding and no. I don't think they would have now. Will was definitely already gone. Yeah, in his mind he was already gone. Yeah, he was already gone. It's mad. And then, guys, deuces, you already know what time it is. Little black book, you already know what time it is. You ain't got the what? You ain't got the what? Minerals, baby. Little black book, you already know what time it is. A gege. Oh, you're mad, you leaner. Little black book, you know what time it is. Yeah.